Chapter 45. Zhao Jiang landed with such force that fire burst out from his ears, eyes, nostrils, and mouth, and the earthly fury trap was thus destroyed. Krakukanta emerged and calmly made his way back to the Zhou army. Seeing that Zhao Jiang had been taken alive, Grand Tutor Wen cried out, "Don't go away, Krakukanda. I'm coming to finish you off." Jade Tripod quickly warned him, "You shouldn't behave like this, Brother Wen. By order of the Jade Emptiness Palace, we're here to break the 10 death traps. We've taken only 2 of them, but another 8 remain. We're here to compete with our skill in magic, not with physical strength. Don't get so worked up. Your attitude is not worthy of a Taoist." Grand Tutor Wen was shamed into silence. As Burning Lamp left the scene and returned to the Reed Pavilion, Grand Tutor Wen and his army went back to their own camp. The Grand Tutor held a military conference to discuss the situation with his 8 colleagues. 2 traps have been broken, and we've lost 2 of our fellow Taoists. I'm very worried by the developments. Grand Tutor Wen said, "It's all been destined by fate. Nevertheless, we can't give up now. I'll deal with them in my roaring typhoon. We're sure to win with that." Heavenly Master Dong reassured him. Back in the Reed Pavilion, Krakukanta brought Zhao Jiang before Burning Lamp. Burning Lamp ordered, "Hang him up in the pavilion." "Shall we break the roaring typhoon tomorrow?" all the immortals asked. "How can we? It doesn't use ordinary wind. It's derived from the energies of earth, water, and fire, and conceals swords and cutlasses. How can we resist it? We'll need the wind-stopping pearl first." Burning Lamp replied, "Where can we get it?" all the immortals asked. "My friend, Woe-evading Sage, lives in Cloud Light Cave on Mount 9 Tripods and Iron Forks. He's got the pearl, so I can write to him for it. Jiang Ziya, you may send a general and a civil official to deliver the letter and bring back the pearl." Master Spiritual Treasure suggested. Jiang Ziya sent Sun Yisheng and General Chao Tian on the mission. They traveled along the highway to cross the Yellow River and arrived at Mount 9 Tripods and Iron Forks several days later. Jagged peaks towered high in the sky, rocks resembling seated tigers and ancient pines, twisted like flying dragons, covered the mountain. Birds sang sweetly on the crags, and plum flowers perfumed the air. Sun Yisheng and Chao Tian approached the Cloud Light Cave and asked a lad to report their arrival to the Woe-evading Sage. Offering his greetings, Sun Yisheng handed the letter to the immortal, who was sitting on a straw cushion. After reading the letter, he said, "As heaven has destined that all the immortals gather in West Qi to break the 10 death traps, I must give you my pearl. Besides, you've got a recommendation from Master Spiritual Treasure. But you must be very careful not to lose it on your return journey." He handed the pearl to Sun Yisheng, who thanked him and then hurriedly left with Chao Tian. Despite the danger of the mountain path, they galloped at high speed, but when they arrived at the Yellow River, they were perplexed to find no ferries operating. They spent 2 whole days riding along the bank in search of one. There were ferry boats everywhere just a few days ago. Why are there none to be found now? Sun Yisheng pondered aloud to General Chao Tian. Just then they saw a man approaching. Chao Tian asked him, "My good man, why are there no ferry boats around?" "You don't know it, sir, but 2 wicked men came here recently. They're very strong, and nobody dares to oppose them. They drove all the boatmen away and closed all the ferry jetties, leaving only one open about 5 li from here. They now monopolize the river, demanding any fare that they please. No one dares argue with them. How could this have happened? Only a couple of days." Sun Yisheng muttered in disbelief. They continued on their way, and sure enough, they found 2 giants who used not boats, but rafts that they pulled across the river with ropes. General Chao Tian found that they were none other than Fang Bi and Fang Xiang. "Where are you going, brother?" Fang Bi asked. "May we trouble you to ferry us over?" Chao Tian asked. As they crossed to the other bank, Fang Bi and Fang Xiang chatted with Chao Tian about old times, and Chao Tian introduced San Yisheng as a senior minister of West Ji. "You're a general under King Zhou. Why are you traveling with him?" Fang Bi asked. "As King Zhou has become a tyrant, I've forsaken him for the sage ruler in West Ji. Grand Tutor Wen is now making trouble for us, but we just got hold of the wind-stopping pearl to break the roaring typhoon." Chao Tian told them frankly, "We've lived a miserable life. If we seized the pearl and presented it to King Zhou, he'll be sure to pardon us." Fang Bi thought and asked, "Why is it called the wind-stopping pearl? Do show us. It sounds fascinating." As Fang Bi had ferried them across the Yellow River and was a friend of Chao Tian, San Yisheng took the pearl from his pocket without hesitation and handed it to Fang Bi. Fang Bi glanced at it and put it straight into his waist pocket. "We'll keep this as your fare," he said rudely. Without a word more, Fang Bi and Fang Xiang left them and made their way directly to the southern highway. Chao Tian dared not stop them, as both were more than 30 feet tall and extraordinarily strong. Nobody had the courage to tangle with them. San Yisheng was frightened out of his wits and cried loudly, "We got the pearl only to lose it again. What shall we do? How can I face Prime Minister Jiang again?" He rushed to the bank and was about to throw himself into the Yellow River, but Chao Tian pulled him back, saying, "Your Excellency, don't be rash. We're not afraid of death, but we must remember that Prime Minister Jiang is anxious to have the pearl to break the roaring typhoon. If we die, he'll have no idea what happened, and as a result the country may meet with disaster. We would then be condemned by all for disloyalty and stupidity. Let's first see Prime Minister Jiang and report to him all that has happened. It's better to die under the sword than to commit suicide and be cursed by everyone. Who would have thought that we would meet such misfortune here?" San Yisheng said with a sigh. They mounted their horses and whipped them to a fast gallop. They had traveled only 15 li when they saw flags and banners waving before them and heard the creak of grain carts. As San Yisheng drew near, he saw that it was General Huang Feihu, bringing grain supplies to West Qi. San Yisheng dismounted and Huang Feihu also got down from his ox. "Where are you going, Supreme Minister?" San Yisheng knelt on the ground and began to sob. "Why are you so grief-stricken? What has happened, Supreme Minister?" Huang Feihu inquired. San Yisheng told him the whole story. "How long ago was it stolen?" "Not long ago. They can't be far away." "Don't worry, Supreme Minister. Wait for me here and I'll get the pearl back for you," Huang Feihu said. He mounted his divine ox and sped off like the wind. Before long, he caught sight of the Fang brothers swaying down the road before him. Fang Bi and Fang Xiang. "Wait a minute." Turning his head, Fang Bi found to his surprise that it was Huang Feihu. They hadn't seen him for many years and now hastily knelt at the roadside. "Where are you going, Your Highness? Why did you steal the wind-stopping pearl?" "He gave it to me as fare." Fang Bi lied. "Give it back to me at once," Huang demanded. Fang Bi obediently handed over the pearl with both hands. "Where have you been these past few years?" Huang Feihu asked. "Since we left you, we've made a living by ferrying people across the river," Fang Bi answered. "I've forsaken the Shang dynasty. King Wu is a sage ruler, as virtuous as Yao and Shun. He rules 2/3 of the kingdom already. Though Grand Tutor Wen has sent armies to West Qi several times, he cannot win. As you're homeless now, you can't do any better than follow me and serve under King Wu. You'll both be given a high rank. Don't waste your talents in vain," Huang Feihu urged them. "If you're kind enough to recommend us, we'll be grateful for that." They traveled swiftly back to the other men. San Yisheng and Chao Tian were both terrified at the sight of Fang Bi and Fang Xiang, but Huang Feihu dismounted and handed the pearl to San Yisheng. "You go ahead. I'll return with Fang Bi and Fang Xiang later." Cai Yisheng and Chao Tian hurried on their way and soon reached the reed pavilion beyond the city wall. "Have you got the wind-stopping pearl?" Jiang Ziya asked urgently. Cai Yisheng reported the whole story, but the prime minister said nothing, quickly handing the pearl over to Burning Lamp. "Now that we've got the pearl, we can deal with the roaring typhoon tomorrow," the immortal said. If you want to know what happened after that, just read the next chapter.